Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Okay, back to our class. Okay, we have completed few slides in chapter 5. And then we have a look here. Okay, chapter 5, international trade theory. So we have finished, we have completed this international trade theory. I also explained this in our previous class. Hopefully you still can remember. And where is it? Very fast. And overview of the international trade theory. So this is the what we call that the flow. So start with mercantilism, and the Adam Smith promotes the absolute advantage, and David Ricardo come up with the comparative advantage. It's called theory. Okay, this is the flow. It's not just come suddenly appear. The theory evolve for information. It's not just today come up with a theory and then that is it. That's it. So it start with from other theory, from the fundamental theory, it emerged, and suddenly from Adam Smith come up with David Ricardo. That's how the theory work. Okay, now why is the free trade beneficial? I have explained this is not main focus. You may think by yourself, oh, you may read in the textbook. I want to discuss more because we have completed this. And why do country trade to each other? Use your brain. I think your brain still can be useful, still can be used. Okay, it's still useful even though you have a bit damage because of vaccine or because of fluoride that you use every day. Hopefully, it's still okay, and I guess so. Okay, now I just use your brain to read about this and think about this. You may know there's no need to have explanation because you are the university student, not secondary school. So we have completed this. So please read by yourself for further understanding. Trade theory and government policy already discussed about this. So again, use your brain to know, to dig more regarding this. We have finished. Sorry, where is it? Okay, we have finished it in class also. So to those who are absent, that's your choice. I have no choice to force you to learn this, but you have to read your own. It's already explained. Use your brain a bit. Okay, and then we already here mercantilism. So this one also have been explained in class. And however, I'm going to repeat, just consider as try to refresh memory. Okay, trade surplus. When talking about mercantilism, they try to have the trade surplus. Okay, if we will say Malaysia and Brunei, we have trade. So Malaysia consider good in terms of their trading, their gain in terms of trading. If if we can have trade surplus over Brunei, let's say Brunei export to us crude oil and we export to Brunei palm oil. So at the end of the day, the amount of palm oil exported to Brunei become more than what we receiving or we do importing. So that is called as trade surplus. So in mercantilism, they call as a zero-sum game. So what's that zero-sum game? Okay, when talking about zero-sum gain, it's about one country gains while others suffer loss. So one side win, zero-sum gain. Okay, zero-sum game. Okay, in practical, I think you still remember I said that mercantilism is not really practical today. It just remains as a theory itself. But however, the fundamental of the theory also still important in the national policy, especially bank negara policy. And we need to have exports to stimulate our GMP and GDP. Because if we do less export, what happens? Our currency becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, and the currency becomes devalued because we do more export. Okay, sorry, we do more import, the currency becomes devalued. If we do more import exports, the currency value keep increasing. It harm to us, so we cannot have excessive export until make the currency value increase very high, and we cannot have what we call that lot of import until the currency become devalued. Okay, this is the economic theory. So hopefully you understand what is mercantilism. Now we have gone through again this Adam Smith theory, absolute advantage. 1776, not 1976, 1776. Okay, so 76 actually is very familiar. Okay, it's not 76, 69, the NASA story. Okay, never mind. We put aside that story. I cannot tell story here because this is online class, which you need to download and require more space. So it's talking about theory. I think 10 hours also not enough for me. Okay, now take a look again the theory here. Okay, the assumption here, countries differ in their ability to produce goods efficiently. So in each country, they have different capability. Malaysia got different capability because we have land, we have natural resources, the workers, we are split in what area. So this is factor of production or resources. And others may argue that country has an absolute advantage in production of a product and more efficient if we just produce what we are efficient in. Okay, we take a look here. Take example here like Ghana and Korea, South Korea. So the assumption they already explained in class also, the resources just 200 units. 200 units only. Both countries got 200 units only. Okay, and this is the things. What we call that Ghana takes around 10 units of resources to produce 1 ton cocoa, 20 units resources to produce 1 ton of rice. So meaning that if they just need to have 10 resources to produce ton of cocoa, the maximum they can do, they just be able to produce 20 ton of cocoa. Okay, now clear about this. Remember this figure. So in this context, resources, here resources, it can be anything. It can be land, it can be, so the combination of all, each country just have 200 resources. The combination, the maximum, cannot exceed than 200. Okay, so maximum they can produce cocoa is 20 ton only. Why? Because the maximum, the capability just 10 unit resources. Okay, in order to produce 1 ton, it requires 10 unit. 20 ton, 200 unit. Is that right? It's simple mathematics. 10 ton of rice. Okay, and no cocoa. If they produce rice alone, only be able to produce 10 ton of rice only. Why? Because 1 ton they need to have 20 resources. So if they use all 200 resources, they just be able to have 10 ton of rice only, but no cocoa. However, we want to gain more. With that 200 resources, we try to have more than this. So how to get that? So first we have a look here. Okay, this is the summary, but before this, not important. Okay, this you will know this after you come up with this. Also this, then don't cram your headache, just understand this. Oh, it's very fast. Okay, this, please properly understand this. Back to the original theory, it says you absolute advantage, it means you specialize in the production that you are most efficient with. Okay, which one? Ghana is most efficient in cocoa. Why? Why? Because Ghana just need to have 10 resources, okay, to produce 1 ton. If men, let's say Ghana just need 10 men to produce 1 ton of cocoa, while Korea need 40 men to produce 1 ton. Okay, in terms of resources. So these the required resources to produce 1 ton, 20 resources for 1 ton of rice. These resources required. Okay, then consumption without trade. If let's say we make assumption like Ghana would we call it, refuse to cooperate with others, to do trading with others. They just want to survive at their own. Okay, now With Coco, the ability 10, that's